to eat something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you get hungry, just
go.
Go for it.
Just gonna go.
Just go. Just do it. Just do it.
Putting some stuff behind me.
I'm gonna.
That's nice. I like the little tentacle face.
Yeah.
Cover, because that's for looking through, right?
Yeah, it goes. It's like this.
Ah, you look like you could be a cup of Starbucks. Oh, you're Davy Jones.
Yeah, I went that way.
Very.
I need it for like a tentacle alien monster.
It's perfect. I love it.
It is wonderful. That's a good look for you, Shoshi. Have you thought about growing your face tentacles out?
Oh,
I mean, there was a time where I let them come down here. It's hard to get cast, though. You know.
It's so much work, like cutting off the tentacle and then cauterizing it so it doesn't immediately respawn.
Yeah, and like I've already done all that work, so.
Yeah, but like,
but then growing it out, there's like that awkward time where they're like not quite long enough, and it's just like, I'll just, you know.
Okay. Hear me
out, keep waxing them.
Tentacle sideburns.
Yeah.
Wait,
I don't know why that's not already a thing.
But like specifically for you, how do we get you in a costume that involves tentacle sideburns? Because this is, I feel
like it's a pretty strong.
Tentacle sideburns and then a tentacle handlebar mustache.
Oh, like wow! The like,
and then when you're
like coming out of your lip and curling up.
Oh, and curling up.
But also like when you have different expressions, like if you think something's funny, they'll wiggle about. If you're frustrated, they'll curl up and be frustrated with you. Like they can show your emotions.
Yeah.
And is this? Here's an important question: Are the tentacles? Is it 2 tentacles or is it 1 tentacle?
I think 2. I think
2 as well.
Yeah, they.
I think 2.
Start,
and then several dozen.
Yeah.
On your side.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think that's the way to go. Yeah.
I think not very long for the sideburns, so it stays sideburny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tentacle makeover.
That would be so. If I don't know, if I had $1 million billion and a full studio, that would be like a bit that Cubby and I would put together. It'd be like, on the crafting show, we're gonna do makeovers. Here we take a regular person, but all the makeover is just tentacles. We just put tentacles on.
Now she's be-tentacled.
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's the reveal. And we're like, wow. As you can see, we added a few tentacles, a few more tentacles, put a few little tentacles on there. And
we'll be offering like glamour. It'll feel like we're offering glamour makeups, but we have like an FX makeup department in a trailer.
And it's just tentacles.
It's just so many tentacles. There might even be 11
sit down and get like in-depth conversation with them about like what they need, what they're looking for, why they want this change, and then it's just
tentacles.
It's always tentacles.
You know what I would like definitely do if I were rich? I would go to a con and I would cosplay probably like Star Trek character, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I'd rent a hotel room with like an entire makeup setup, and I would grab people and give Borg makeovers.
And slowly the whole convention
is assimilated.
And like me and one other person will go around and we'll be the recruiters. We'll be Borg. and we'll be grabbing people and we'll be saying like, you will be assimilated. If you want, here's the deal. And we just turn them into the Borg version.
You assimilate them.
We assimilate them, and it'll be great because if you don't know what's going on, because nobody's gonna know what's going on. I'm not gonna talk to the like people running the con or anything. Where's the fun with that? There'll just be more and more Borg around.
Yeah. I
love it.
Love that.
That's
I would do a lot of cosplay if I were independently wealthy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of people who do cosplay are independently wealthy.
It's an expensive thing to get into.
Look, if I had the cash to drop money on a full-scale MODOK.
What's a MODOK?
It's a mobile organism designed only for killing.
Well, I mean, we would do our idea where I would dress up as Silver Surfer on roller skates and you'd be Galactus and we would hang out in the food court.
Yeah.
And I'd steal you French fries from people's plates.
You'd steal food from people because I would be there bellowing, I hunger.
On it. And no one would care. They'd be like, yes.
Yeah, you can't be angry if the Silver Surfer steals your fries to give to Galactus, because the alternative is that he will eat the planet. The planet.
The planet. What's a few French fries between planets?
I want to cosplay as a sexy beholder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because beauty is in.
So, do you have specific ideas about it? Because, like, the first thing that came to mind was just straight up a beholder with lipstick and just, like, two saggy breasts hanging down off of the orb.
Yeah, and, like, only my legs are sticking out, but I'm wearing, like, booty shorts and garters.
Yeah, and, like, fishnets and heels.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. Your legs are the sexy legs from the lamp. And
right.
The top part is a beholder with like long eyelashes.
Exactly.
Like a big paper mache beholder. This is very doable.
Yeah.
If you are interested, talk to me in a couple of months because I am hearing the siren call of paper mache.
Oh, really? You're going down the...
It's so cold, though. That's the only thing that I don't like about paper mache. Is it's so cold.
You know what else is cold?
Cold and goopy.
My heart. That's a good point. Maybe I'll wear gloves or something, like thick gloves. That way I can take them off and my hands will be dry and I can just warm them up.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say one thing.
What was that?
Secret show!
Secret show? Oh.
Oh, it's been said a bard's life can often be a hard life, or hill and jail to rove and always move from town to town. And some folk have inquired if ever we grow tired of ranging all around the world and never settling down.
But one should be a little wary of remaining stationary, 'cause comfortable is lovely, but it's not the way we grow. When life starts to unravel, pick up your pack and travel. You'll find a strange serenity in places you don't know. Wriggle-dee-dum-dee-doo-da-terry-o-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before. Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. You've got got no map for showing which direction you are going.
But why start on a journey if you know where it will end?
And once you recognize,
To anticipate surprise, you'll relish every twist and turn that lies around the bend. Wriggly-dum-da-doo-da-terrio-dee-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before? Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road.
the world has got its demons. There are many reasons why you'd find it harder to be brave than be afraid.
But every life could use some danger. Every friend was once a stranger. Ships are safe in harbor, but that's not why ships are made.
Wriggly-dum-de-doo-da-terrio-dee-da-dee. A fwit-da-dee-da-dee. There's so much to see beyond the open door. It's outward bound we go. Who knows what we'll find that we've never found before? Adventures waiting further down the road. It's waiting for you further down the road. Adventures waiting further down the road.
Let's go!
Crafting, crafting, crafting with Joshi and Cubby. What will we make today? What is the dice of the day? Crafting, creating, collaborating. What would an octopus say? Trivia questions, hooray! Creating, clickbaiting, can't hardly waiting for the crafting show. A crafting show with Cubby and Joshi.
That's us. We did it.
I'm having kitty
And Evan Kitty.
because
Sometimes.
life is good today.
Life is good today. As
It doesn't
good as it
suck.
can be. Although earlier in a conversation with Cubby, no worries got mistyped as now worries. We're like, that feels very
That's
accurate to our times.
Now
That's-
worries. Or now
that's-
worries.
Yeah, that's my everyday reality.
Now worries.
Oh, hey!
Hey, welcome, welcome. Good. It's getting more chatty now.
Yeah.
Okay, Mab, first off, please tell us about your headpiece.
Well, thank you for asking. First of all, I haven't showered since Monday. So I decided to come up with a creative alternative to looking like a complete slug. So today I got this wonderful little head thing and I wrapped it. And then I realized, just like in the old belly dancer days of old, if you put more shit on your head, you look fabulous. So I put my little crown tiara. And really, who can be sad with a crown tiara? Nobody. So that's what's going on today. Oh, wait, but there's more.
What?
Rounded out with a little bit of lippy.
You know what? A great woman once told me, put on some lipstick, suddenly everyone thinks you know what you're talking about. And it's kind of true.
Well, I don't know what to call it, but that like small, the very large thing, but small for a hat in your hair, I find just fascinating.
Oh yeah.
I would wear lipstick more, but I eat my lips a lot during the day. So lipstick doesn't last very long on my lips. I've never tried a stain. Has anyone here tried a lip stain?
I've heard that they're great.
Yeah. I see them all the time on my Instagram feed.
Some work, some don't.
Maybe I'll give them a little try. Yeah? Okay, cool.
I gotta take it off.
I've got. Woo!
Now the party has started. Is it warm where you are, Kitty? It's cold. Well,
It's pretty warm here, yeah.
cold. It's like 55 degrees, which is very cold for Los Angeles.
For Los Angeles, yeah. I think we're in the 70s.
Oh,
I'm
I
getting ready to
realized.
go to Texas where it's in the 30s and 40s right now. Not excited about that.
Too cold.
It's warming up though.
Yeah.
It'll start warming up.
And we've got DC and Philly. It's pretty cold in DC and Philly, right? Like actually cold.
Yes.
Yeah. Computer, what's the temperature right now? 22 degrees.
Ooh,
Yeah.
ooh, ooh.
Oh. Oh.
Computer, what is the temperature right now? 26 degrees.
Oh.
Mm.
Too cold.
No, thank you.
No, thank
How is it colder here than it is in Philly? Oh, you're in a city. Are you in a city? Are you in the city?
No, I'm in a place
suburbs.
between places called the Cubby Zone.
Oh.
It was called that before me. It's just because a dimensional entity used to use it to keep their shoes in.
Too cold. Too cold.
Yeah.
Too
Ugh.
cold.
And that's why Ohio is the worst word to Gen Alphas.
Oh, is that like an insult?
Yeah.
That's
Really
so Ohio.
well, honestly, no offense to Ohio. I've done shows there, more than one, and I understand the Gen Alpha sentiment towards that.
I've had some pretty good. We had one good show there in Columbus at that circus place.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. That one show was good.
Yeah, and Cincinnati is a pretty cool city. I liked Cincinnati when I was there.
Yeah, I
It shuts
think
down at like
the
5
fact
p.m.
that Cincinnati used to be the pig slaughter capital of the world. So I walk into that city or drive into that city and I feel the weight of 1 million pigs crying out.
I feel the weight of 1 million.
It's almost like they named it after the wrong centurion. They should have called that city Titus Andronici instead of Cincinnati.
That's
Cincinnati.
there is. You're absolutely right, Sir David Percival. Robert Turk is actually one of my favorite humanoid shaped entities, and
Yeah, he's pretty great.
Who?
And I do have some friends who live in Cleveland.
Oh, Bobby Turco.
Bobby Turco.
Bobby
Bobby
Turco.
Turco.
I actually saw him not this past weekend, but the weekend before at Mythicon.
Oh,
Hey.
And
nice.
he's about to launch, or
Veil?
not launch. He's about to, it's ready for,
Yeah.
it's out to print, I think.
Wow, cool.
Oh wow. Because the Kickstarter is launching in March, right?
Yeah. And he just got over, and he's still kind of walking through it. What is the thing you get when you used to have, when you, not chicken pox, but the adult shingles?
Oh, ow. Oh, that's so
He's like,
painful.
the air hurts my skin.
Yeah, my mom had that a couple years ago, and it's terrible. I'm
I've
really
had
worried I'm
shingles.
gonna get it someday. Isn't there a vaccine? Is there a shingles vaccine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll get that.
You're probably still a little young for it, but
Oh,
with
okay.
all of the things going around, it's probably not like around. You're not very young for it, but you are still a little young for. It's unusual for people our age to get shingles, but I got it a few years ago. It still happens.
Oh yeah, no, my friend who's the same age as me got it a couple years ago. So like,
It wasn't that bad a case of shingles, but it stuck around.
Who got shingles? You
Cubby.
had shingles?
I had shingles.
Oh no. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, it wasn't. I thought it was like prickly heat at first. I thought I got a heat rash because I was on an airplane and I'd been like shoved into a seat for a real long time, and I had like a slightly painful rash. I just thought it was from being in Florida.
the old Florida rash.
I'm just saying, you step into Florida, you expect some skin diseases.
Man, we're really dunking on different states this episode.
Yeah. I don't have a
There's
chip on
50
my
states.
shoulder growing up in New Jersey or anything.
50 states, and I got an insult for each of them.
It's like when you travel around, you can't love them all equally. Some states have to be loved less than others.
And aren't they asking to be loved less? Aren't they inspiring less love? Isn't it really the state's fault?
I could also say definitely have a thing that I love about every state, though.
All right, I'll allow it.
That is the shoshiest reaction I've ever heard in my life. Now let's really talk about states.
That's fair. I haven't been to all 50 yet. I'm at 47. Yeah, 47. I need both Dakotas and Alaska. And then I'll have and I can't just have driven through. I have to at least have spent the night there or eaten a meal there that wasn't just a drive-through meal to count that I've been to a state.
Absolutely, undoubtedly, I've got the lowest number here.
Well, yeah, because Kitty and Mab have definitely been on a lot of tours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've not toured
Travel.
all that. I've not toured at all, really.
If I performed in a state, even if I didn't stay there, if I've performed there, that still counts.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
I performed in the state, I count that as well. Yeah.
I haven't been to the West Coast, so my number is not as high as I would like it to be.
Oh.
I would like to go to the West Coast.
You
You
could come
should.
hang with me.
You know someone on the West Coast?
Can you get me a gig over there?
Actually, you know two people. Because wait, do you know Kali Wonderhammer?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in Seattle.
I mean, Mab
You know a bunch of
undoubtedly
people,
knows
yeah.
a lot of people on the West Coast.
I do know
Yeah.
a lot of people on the West Coast.
Yeah, I bet you know people in Oregon, and you definitely know people in California. Yeah, you could do a little West Coast tour is hard though because it's so big.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and you know, very large gaps between cities,
Yeah.
as opposed to the East Coast where we were just like, I'm starting a new world 20 miles west of the old world I once
On
knew.
this
Yeah.
little chunk yeah.
And you've been pretty much up and down the East Coast, Cubby. You've got like the East Coast taken care of.
Yeah. I've been
And
to,
some
been
of
to
the
all
middle.
the East Coast.
Some of the middle.
Been to some of the middle. I guess technically, I don't know. I only drove through Kansas. I can't remember. No, I did not sleep in Kansas because I waited till I made it to Colorado. Which is, I gotta say, I thought about it because Kansas has some nice rest stops, like the bathroom kind of rest stops. Very pretty, very nice.
Very nice. And they have Kansas City, Kansas has very good barbecue.
They are known for that.
Yeah.
I have had Kansas City barbecue and was like, but okay, it was very expensive. It was not on the side of a road in a freaking cut open 50-gallon barrel drum anything like that. It was in a nice restaurant, but it was one of the best barbecues. Second only to ribs I've had in New Orleans. There was one place that Collie took me to right before I had to get on an airplane. And I was like, oh, we'll just get a little thing. And I was like, oh, these ribs. They showed up. Each rib was like the size of like a Fred Flintstone sandwich. Okay.
Amazing.
And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to eat these 3 ribs. And I was like, how am I going to get these on the airplane?
Oh my God, what a hilarious airplane meal.
I just
open up and just munch on gigantic ribs.
Well,
That would be
into like
incredible.
a little foil packet and smushed it down really good.
That would be so great. That would be
What's
good.
the funniest thing to whip out and start eating on an airplane?
Ooh, great
Lobster.
question.
A dick.
Lobster. A dick.
Not funny because it's done so often, it's lost all humor. So
I think lobster might win,
Lobster.
like right out the gate.
yeah, and you gotta have like the butter and the little bib and the little crack thing and
Yeah,
the,
you just start putting the bib on.
big bucket. Hey, Viola!
Okay. With that in mind, then the craziest thing to eat on an airplane is that one songbird that you have to eat all of
Ortolan.
the organ.
Oh,
Yeah, or the ortolan, because you have to put the
Towel over your
towel
head to
over
hide
your
it.
head to hide it from God.
uh-huh.
But you're closer to God. It's like, oh, I don't want you to see me eating this songbird, God. Oh, but I'm right by your doorstep.
Why? Well, that's too big of a philosophical question to get into. No, it's not.
No, it's
laughing
not.
show.
Oh,
Why do we say God is far away from the earth and the thing that we don't like is in the earth? Because like the earth is pretty great. I'm pretty sure that's God.
Christians are
Why-
weird, man. I don't
Why
know.
is there a religion that makes us hate the earth? And what are the implications of that?
Well, I mean, it is a beginning concept that we were given dominion over
Mm,
all of the earth,
mm,
and that's our natural place.
mm.
I think it's easy to assume God is far away because if it were any closer, it would do something.
Mm. But the earth does do things.
Oh, the earth does things, but
Yeah.
but the God we've created is
Right.
in our image,
Yeah.
not the
it's
earth's
far-
image.
It's far away.
And so like it's very easy to say, well, if God is real, why doesn't it do something about all these horrible things happening all the time? Oh, it's probably just really far away.
Just very, just far. That okay. Got
Did
it.
you know that from a distance, you look like my friend,
Huh.
even though we are at war
Wow.
and God is watching us
Uh-huh.
from a distance?
Hmm.
I think that is the most cynical song I've ever heard,
Yeah.
because it's trying to sound hopeful, but every word is about how if you get far away, the earth looks very peaceful.
Yeah.
If you don't care about anyone on earth, it's a beautiful planet.
It's very,
From
very-
God's perspective,
everything's fine.
as long as you just do not care about
What if, but here's counterpoint. What if God was one of us?
just like a slob like one of us?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Just a stranger. All of us trying to find their way home.
Thank you, VLF. Oh my god.
Apologies. So sorry. So sorry about that.
Fog did say that about From a Distance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Apologies for that.
Well, I don't want to derail this God talk.
Please
Please do.
derail it. Please
Okay.
derail our God train.
So I may or may not have to take off. I have a mechanic showing up, and you know how they give you a window of time. So I wanted to talk about something before I have to suddenly go potentially.
Please.
So our next Nat 21 main game starts next Tuesday, not this coming Tuesday.
What?
Next Tuesday. Yeah.
Like,
And
like
what?
2 weeks from yesterday?
yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to be playing a character that because we're doing Spelljammer, which means we're going into space.
Right.
Space!
And so I want to play a character who is a regular human that got abducted by aliens when she was a child, and then aliens put all kinds of cybernetic technology into her, but
Ooh.
alien cyborg stuff. And then sent her back.
That sounds so fun.
There's
Yeah.
a whole reason why. I made up a lot of backstory, but we don't have to get into all of it. Yeah, like Star-Lord.
Yeah.
That is comic book Star-Lord.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
great.
Where it gets different is the reason why the aliens abducted me. They abducted me with another person too. Is they're going through the galaxy abducting different species so they can create an army of super soldiers out of a planet so that for their big war. And so they went around gathering species and testing out their stuff, and they found that their technology was very compatible with our physiology, but because we were such so independent and had personalities and stuff, they're like, you're not going to make good soldiers, so we're just going to bring you back. And so she grew up living with other rejected species that were tested out with all this stuff.
That's so cool.
I haven't made up any of the part of what happened to the species the aliens do choose, but that's all out there. Point is, she got dropped back off on Earth about 20 years later when they got back around to it. So I want to make some cybernetic parts, and I'm trying to think of what to do and how to do it, what materials to use and stuff. So I'd love to brainstorm that with you guys.
I love that.
I looked up, this is great. I looked up some 3D printed files because a friend of mine was like, I'll 3D print you some stuff. So I looked up some different greebles. Do you guys know what greebles are?
Grables?
Greebles grovel, but they don't fall down.
Right.
Greebles is the term for just all the little nuts and bolts and panels and wires and hoses and stuff that you see on spaceships and things like that.
Oh, greebles. I love that. I've never heard that term, and that is such a good term.
Yeah,
Okay,
you gotta watch out though, because you can't feed greebles after midnight,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
and you can't get them wet.
You can't get them wet. I mean, that's true. That is true about Green.
Maybe. So
One
I'm
dog knows
thinking,
about Greebles.
so Kitty, for this particular project, some of the parameters that need to be considered is you can't be sitting here, gluing individual pieces to your face because it's a regular show and you want it to look the same from week to week to week. So like it's gonna have to be something that goes on.
I was thinking, yes, a couple of pieces like around my eye and having a base maybe out of this kind of foam stuff.
DVA foam,
Yeah.
craft foam.
And then I've had extensive experience with using eyelash glue to glue shit to my
Yeah,
face.
I normally do that, and I was thinking that was my first presumption. But again, having to do Loon's makeup every week, I like all these years later, with the, her full body tattoos and everything. I have started to kind of think that maybe that wasn't like the best idea.
Yeah, but it makes the show good. It's that kind of production quality that we bring to it.
Yeah, that's true. And my justification for why they're not the same from week to week is they are magic tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
like-
so I'll have a couple of plates around my eye and some and so I'm like, I guess I can just glue little Greebles together and then paint them and then glue that. Oh, I think this might be the mechanic. I might have to pop out.
That's a
Good
great song.
ringtone.
Well,
Yes.
Bye. I also had mechanic stuff this morning. I got a flat tire and I had to bring it in to get
Oh,
fixed this morning.
and it's pretty early in the morning over there.
Yeah, I had an 8 a.m. appointment.
it's LA is a lovely city, but the culture there is a little messed up. It shouldn't matter whether your tire has breasts or not.
Damn. I got it. Flat tires.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, it took a second.
These standards of beauty for
For cars.
automotive parts are
Yeah.
there we
Oh
go.
no,
Hey,
we're ceiling
that
leak.
was-
Oh no.
That was just them calling to say they're on their way, so I've still got time to hang out.
All right, sweet. Heck
Oh,
yeah.
I have a craft I want to work on today, but I need help.
Yes.
And I have a thing I wish to share.
Okay. Oh, who goes first? Shoshi.
Cubby, you're
You're in
should go
charge.
first. You should go first because then if we
It'll
get
give
enough
people time.
response from the chat, then you can prepare while Mab is talking about her stuff.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Cool.
So it's pretty naturally. I've always been fascinated by the art of celebrity impressions, like stand-up celebrity impressions. Most because so much of it is terrible. I mean, honestly, growing up, I would see old clips of Rich Little, and Rich Little is not very good.
But that was his whole thing.
Right, and he was not very good at it. It was his whole thing, and he wasn't very good at it.
Interesting.
But I've always been kind of fascinated by this, and recently I've decided, you know what? I'm going to build a repertoire. I've already got Jimmy Stewart. I've already got Tom Waits. I've already got Rich Little. I'm sorry, that's a really good gag. Unfortunately, it's a really good gag for people who are age 60 and older, but it's still a really good gag. So I've decided I want to expand my stable of impressions, and so I want to know from the chat what my next impression should be.
What the next celebrity that you should try and do.
Yeah,
and
I'm gonna see if I can start on that. I shoot for the sky for passable by the end of the show.
What kind
Well,
of
we were
qualities are you looking for in your impressions? Your subject.
sky's the limit, I think, right? Cubby?
unexpected. I would prefer an unexpected, like, oh, I didn't see that one coming. But the problem with it, it's also got to be recognizable.
Right.
So Winston Churchill is.
Oh
That's
no,
amazing.
Winston Churchill's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
write that in the chat. Write that in the chat. Yeah,
That's a historical.
but
Yeah, not everybody knows who Winston Churchill is now.
Well, not everybody knows who Rich Little is.
I would
That's
say, you compare it. I think more people are familiar with Winston Churchill than Tom Waits.
No.
It's an interesting question.
They might know the name Winston Churchill, but they don't know like his characteristics. Tom Waits is pretty distinct.
He's pretty distinct, but he's still a little below
niche.
He's a little. Thank you. That's the word I needed. He's a little niche.
Yeah.
But that's fine. But we were thinking, Cubby and I were talking, like when you're trying to, do an impression or do any sort of performance when you first start, like you're going to be bad at it for a while. And it's a little, it's a little embarrassing to be bad at something for a while. And Cubby and I were talking about how, like, well, you explain it best about like the number of people.
Well, like, you do something embarrassing in front of one friend and it's tough.
It's pretty embarrassing.
It's rough on you. It's draining emotionally. You do it in front of like 5 friends and it's kind of funny. You do it in front of 10 and it's funnier. Do it in front of 1,000 people.
That's
money,
a
good
baby. So we figure, you can embarrass yourself in front of the chat, which is thousands and thousands of people. Yeah. Ooh, Liam Neeson. That's a good one.
See, this is not quite what I'm going.
What about Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, see, Nicolas Cage feels like kind of inevitable. And
Pedro Pascal as
Not-
the Mandalorian.
Yeah. Then you don't have to say anything at all.
No,
I just have to-
Mandalorian talks.
Well,
He does eventually.
I've heard interviews
he's
where he
so
talked about how it's so weird when someone wants him to do the Mandalorian voice, especially a little kid, because Mandalorian's voice is kind of a bedroom voice.
Oh,
It's kind of a little sexy voice.
Yeah.
You got that bedroom voice. That's true. That's really funny.
yeah, Nicolas Cage, Liam Neeson, Robin Williams is
That's a challenge.
that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I think the only way to do that would be to do his bits with it, which is what makes it like, because his mode of speech isn't that difficult to imitate, to kind of get the cadence. It's a faster cadence, but it's got a little bit of bounce to it. It's easy to
And
get
it bounces up.
approximate.
He goes up at the end a lot.
It goes up at the end, like, and that's terrible. But like, it's just needs shifting. But the like mildly racist characters popping up every 30 seconds.
Like, not so much that they cross the line, but like they get close.
But there's always a big black guy. Robin Williams always does this for us.
And Winston Churchill, I think, is a good choice, because you do like doing impressions of people that only 3 or 4 people in the audience.
Wait, what was the name you said for that one?
Winston
Sorry.
Churchill.
Well, see, Winston Churchill is a good voice.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he talks like.
Cubby,
And Nicolas Cage is a good one. These are good. We've got some good suggestions.
Cubby, do me.
Say like a really distinctly kitty phrase.
Oh gosh. What I don't know. I don't know how to do me. How
I don't know how to
expect
do
you
me.
to do me if I don't even know how to do me.
How I want you to do me. How am I gonna know how to do me?
Let's smoke weed and pet cats.
Yeah.
Let's smoke weed and pet cats.
But then you have to pull your fangs down, Cubby, in front of your.
You could have
There you
fangs.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitty,
Little
oh my
fangs.
gosh, Kitty, I found an old photo of you at One Eyed Jack when you did a spot with us at the Accidental Circus, and you wearing those striped tights and those cute little booty shorts, and I was like, she's adorable.
Yeah, I
will
was
send it to you.
super cute back then.
Yeah,
Aw,
I was
so
super
cute
cute
now.
back then.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
My hair feels weird and combed forward though.
You get used to it.
Yeah. So then I would say, Cubby, choose from the options that we've given you. And then I don't know if you want to like take your camera off and then bring it back on when you're ready to show us your impression.
Well,
Or-
I figured it'll be even more embarrassing if I try to do it in front of.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then let me know when you're ready, because I have to do the little intro video to introduce it.
Right. Actually, I will say, Nicolas Cage I have thought of as one I do have to do inevitably.
I think you do. I think that might be a good one to. Oh.
I disagree, Bonnie, about only the Klingon part. Christopher Lloyd, I think that's just a good but because he plays a lot of weird characters. I know it's gonna end up being mostly
What
Doc Brown.
Does a yellow light mean?
I
What?
prefer when he plays like a vaguely creepy dude, like in Walk Like a Man, or in Clue. Oh,
Lee Marvin.
about it, hot stuff.
Ooh. That's
Yeah,
pretty good.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm gonna try Christopher Lloyd,
Okay.
but I also might try some Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
What about Bugs Bunny?
You know, I've tried and it feels
You're more
feels
of an Elmer
weird
Fudd?
because when you hear the wrong Bugs Bunny voice, it's so off-putting. Like when they
Yeah.
changed away from that first voice after Mel Blanc.
Yeah, that was hard to take.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'm like Bugs Bunny worries me. That's a good one though. That one I might have to try in private first.
Winnie the Pooh. Aw. That voice actor, Winnie the Pooh, whose name I cannot remember. He was in a lot of Disney stuff. I
It
love
was
him.
in a lot of Disney stuff, and it does have a really fun fun voice. He always sounds vaguely worried, even when he's happy.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, Cubby, you're gonna prepare.
Okay,
Yeah.
He's been
Right?
preparing.
You've been preparing. It's happening.
I've been preparing.
Do we want to go to talk about Mab's thing and then
Yes.
come back to you, Cubby? Okay, perfect.
That's perfect.
Okay, perfect.
I'll be making weird faces the whole time, but I'm listening.
Amazing. Perfect. Mab, what's happening with you?
Ask me how the decay of society is going.
No.
How is the decay of society going?
Not great, but I have found a creative outlet to help me channel my rage. I have been commissioned by someone, and we're going through as much anonymity as possible. And I am the face of this person who has spent her entire adult career trying to make this world a better place through the work of the government. And things are crazy. So she commissioned me to make art and then make stickers out of that art and then sell the stickers. So
Cool.
I would like, and we're going to be doing an official launch as soon as we get the actual product back from the printers. But all of like, well, maybe not with the sale, but right now this is a friends and family only sneak peek pre-sale. Please do not be sharing this. There are 7 people theoretically watching this show. I can offer you a coupon code, but you're going to have to write it down because I don't want it in print. If you guys are interested in acquiring these stickers that help, it's a voice for the people that are having their voice ripped away in sticker form, and they're saying the things they can't really say in office. Feel free to navigate this website in incognito mode because people are genuinely terrified. So, would you like to know the secret code for another $1 off already on sale prices?
Yeah.
Hashtag sneak peek friend. Hashtag sneak SNEEK or SNEAK peek PEEK friend FRIEND. So I have just dumped about 40 hours worth of work into this, making this happen. It's an amazing site. I'm very proud of it. I'm also proud of the designs and the work and the team that I'm working with.
What a great commission.
Yeah. And yeah, I ask me any questions.
I'm looking at this site right
now.
now.
And I need feedback like, oh, this site, this isn't working. I don't get this, or, we need more clarity on this, or, any of that kind of thing on the technical side of things, and as well as the content side of things. So,
they're great stickers.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah.
They are. So we could do a joint project. Cubby.
Oh, and they're very reasonably priced.
Right now, yes. They're super duper on sale.
Yeah. And are they like bumper sticker safe, like outside?
Absolutely.
safe?
That's why we had to send them to a printer.
Cool.
Because the UV protection was the only aspect I couldn't do, in my own studio. So yeah, these are. And I went with a woman-owned small business to get them printed.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we're a woman-owned company. And Sticker It to the Man. I'm surprised nobody had grabbed that brand because that is a freaking great name.
Yeah.
And yeah. So my thought is when Cubby comes back with his impressions, if he could read some of the captions from the stickers
as the in character
voices.
to have some lines to read.
Right?
Yeah. These are great. There's so many. I can't believe there's so many already.
Oh, and this is just phase 1. They have a lot more designs coming to me or stuff. And we're going to be, as soon as I can get a confidential yet secure form set up, which is kind of a little tricky. I'm going to set it so that people can submit their ideas. Oh, and then the other cool thing is you can vote, just a click, and it is also anonymous. There's no tracking of any kind, just that somebody clicked a button.
Sweet.
Yeah. So this exists, and yes, VLF, I would absolutely. I have not forgotten, and your work on the stickers or on your art, your Smut Goblin is inspirational. I can't wait to get my paws on it and make some cool graphic stickers that you're gonna love. So that's what I've been doing with my time. In about
amazing.
Yeah, 1 week. So I'm very proud of this. I know that I have a broken body and I'm not like able to go physically be activist. But so things are crazy here in DC for folks who don't live here. I don't know if you guys know how bad crazy things are. So I know we don't want to talk about it.
No, but it's no. I have a friend who works for the IRS, and it's crazy.
So
it's pretty crazy out there. Map. Oh wait. I'm ready. I'm ready when you are.
I'm
Yes.
ready. Hold on, let me go get
I'm
the
trying. I can feel I need a little bit more work on this. It's not quite Nicolas Cage.
Oh, it's getting there
You
though.
are getting there.
I can feel it. I can feel it.
I saw a cartoon and I realized it was doing a bad Nicolas Cage, and it was like, oh right, aggressively Californian.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, wait.
That's what I've always been missing. All right.
Let's intro this shit.
Whoa! Whoa! Nice.
I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold up a card that's one of our stickers, and if you can do an impression on it. Okay, you ready?
Yeah, I'll do my best. All right. America's lost its safe word. It's a safe word off.
That's
You're nailing it, Cubby.
You're mad because it's wrong.
yes. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Here we go. Yes.
Civil service. It's punk as fuck.
Yes. Very.
Ah!
I think, Cubby, a little more breathlessness.
Oh,
Like you
like
almost run
yeah.
out of air.
Yeah. I married the prom queen.
Oh, here we go. Here's a good one.
Sorry, more eyes. I feel like more
Yeah.
eyes. You don't have to make the fascists rich. You don't have to make the fascists rich.
But don't forget about when he like goes really loud and high pitched for no reason.
Mm.
You don't have to make the fascist rich.
You don't have to make the fascists rich.
Yes.
Incredible. Cubby, I did not know you could do such a good Nicolas Cage. It's really good.
Once upon a midnight dreary, as I wandered weak and weary.
Okay, here's a good one.
Yes.
I think it's a good Nick Cage one.
Given my professional life, I'm good with bitterness.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes, I'm good with it.
Do you want more?
Well, yes.
You want more?
I mean,
I want. I'm gonna see if I can do a little Christopher Lloyd now. I think I. Oh no, that was turning into Tom Waits. They speak from a similar part of the. Oh man, now it's just Nick Cage. I can't get out of Nick Cage.
This one's better.
Do not comply in advance. This has a lot of inertia. I can't just drop it as easily as I
Yeah,
thought.
right? That's the problem with impressions.
And I've still got to try Christopher Lee.
Ooh.
It's difficult to get that deep and resonant. Hold the line, do not resign.
You're so good.
I was a descendant of Charlemagne.
Was it?
He was. He wrote a heavy metal album about it
Oh my
and
god.
sang it.
Freaking Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Wow.
Against all enemies, foreign and domestic. No, that's just sounding now that's sounding Winston Churchill-y.
It was a
That's
little
what I was
Winston,
thinking too.
Winston
I-
Churchill.
You know what? I think it's that I can't get my voice deep enough to really hit the resonance he has. It's
God, he is an echo chamber unto himself.
yeah.
Wait, who I missed who we're trying now?
Christopher Lee.
Oh, it was Christopher Lee. Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
you
I
have to
could
do
do
that
his
real,
Dracula.
Like, yeah.
I could do his Dracula, but he doesn't talk as Dracula. He's just like.
That's a good impression, though. It's just that. It's just him being a vampire.
I'm missing one of the ones that is my favorite. Oh no. Take a big drink, Bobby.
Winston Churchill, in comparison, not very difficult.
Okay.
We will fight them on the beaches. We will fight them on the shores. There will always be a Briton. There will always be a Briton.
That's pretty good.
Okay, this is one of my favorite stickers that I made so far. But you have to do it as Nicolas Cage. Is that too much of a shift?
No, let me warm up a little.
Okay, so here's the backstory.
All right.
Here's the backstory. Is there's literally an executive order that says you cannot say the word felon in the White House.
What?
Nope, not making that up. It's a literal executive order. You can't say the word felon in the White House. So these stickers exist. And oh, go ahead, Gabby. What?
If I may say in response to that.
So I made this sticker, and in my head, every time I look at the sticker, I hear felon, 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 felon. So I think that would be fun to hear as Nick Cage.
All right. I like that you're holding it up so I don't lose my place. Yeah, I don't want to have to call for a line on this. All right. Felon.
Ooh.
Felon.
It's like Tourette's and felon.
It's so good. Somebody needs to clip this.
I know. I'm going to.
Amazing.
Feel free to take clips from this and use it for whatever advertisement you want.
Oh, I should have had you big. Dang.
That was amazing.
That was
I am big.
Okay. I gotta go for real now.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us even for a small time.
A little kitty is better than no kitty at all.
Yes. What about Gary Oldman? That is a challenge because he is
and
like
somebody put
chameleon.
this is a good one too.
Oh yeah, Tim Curry.
You know, Gary Oldman, who famously disappears completely into every role. What a challenge! Honestly, I'm.
Yeah, what made me think of
Nicolas
it
Cage was a lot more energy than I expected.
Yeah, you might need a little, get a sip of water, take a little break. How does he do it? Oh, that's a good one to do.
Oh,
But
yes.
specifically,
He's cracking me up on that Space Force TV show with
Space Force. John Malkovich.
Steve
Carell.
Yeah.
John
I would say specifically John Malkovich in the movie Jonah Hex.
Well, I'll have to learn whatever that speech was.
Oh my God. Have you seen, Mab, have you seen Jonah Hex, that movie?
No, but I know who he is.
It's not a great movie.
Oh, it's worth skipping.
It's so bad.
For everything but one moment.
Where there's like a speech that John Malkovich gives, and
he's in that horrible movie?
Yes.
Yeah, do you know who plays Jonah Hex? Josh Brolin.
It's not a good movie. But John Malkovich does this speech, and like, I'm paraphrasing, but I swear this might actually be word for word. He's like, and when they see the thing that we have been doing, then they will know that we have done the thing. And in the knowing of the thing that we have done, it will be happening. And I swear that's like word for word what the speech is.
Right. And it's impossible to tell if John Malkovich was playing this character as like a drunken reprobate, or if John Malkovich just started drinking on set out of frustration with the script, because he looks a little bit wasted and a lot like he's ad-libbing. And you might be like, well, that can't be true. How would it have made the movie? The movie is 80 minutes long, and they show the same dream sequence 5 times.
Like, there's flashbacks maybe 10 minutes. Like, flashbacks of a scene that happened like 10 minutes ago.
That might have been a dream. Like, there are so many flashbacks. It's really clear that they're just like, oh man, we got to get this to feature length somehow.
Oh my gosh. It's like,
I don't know why I'm cranking the machine.
Imagine what didn't make the cut, you know? What's on the cutting room floor?
It's only like an 82-minute movie, too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think anything didn't make the cut.
Yeah. They put in everything and then repeated stuff.
I think they might have used every take of that dream sequence. That's why it's in it so long.
Cubby, that Nicolas Cage impression is like
really good. That's a keeper.
Yeah. All right. Good to know. You know what? And it's much more about my approach to most performance is very clown based. So it's a very internal motivation, finding a character without hitting specific benchmarks from an outside perspective, which is hard to do in impressions. But like, I really appreciate that I'm finding the impressions that are more performative than precision.
Yeah, you've got the cadence down.
Yeah.
It just never occurred to me how aggressively Californian.
That's such a good observation. I never thought about it that way either, but that's like
but it's there.
It's like aggressively Californian.
Yeah, it's just so distinctively him that it's hard to hear it as that.
Yeah.
Is that aggressively California?
What
Mhm.
is?
Nick Cage, is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aggressively. That's
got-
such a good way to describe it.
He's got a California accent so aggressive that it doesn't sound like a California accent anymore.
Yeah.
It just sounds like Nick Cage.
Yeah.
The Pedro Pascal bit where he's got the mush mouth and he's like, oh my god. I guess it was Saturday Night Live where he was like, oh, mama. And sama, I speak Spanish. That voice was so cute. So
Pedro Pascal would be a good one to work on. I don't know that I've seen enough of his. And Fogg mentioned 2 people I hadn't heard before. I think. The first one was, I looked it up. Clint McElroy. I don't know who that is. He's a podcaster. Oh, he does Adventure Zone.
Oh
That
yeah,
makes sense.
that yeah.
Who does he do on Adventure Zone?
Oh.
And I appreciate niche suggestions. Thank you.
This one, Steve Martin. Did we address that one?
No, that's a tough one because he has a very neutral voice.
Yeah, although he does have when he does stand up, which he hasn't done in a very long time, he has a particular cadence and a sort of superior attitude that I think maybe you could.
Yes, it's very declamatory. It's like, sorry, I've been doing rehearsals for Historic Philadelphia, and when we quote a famous and respected historical figure, we try to look good. And I just do this thing which in my head I call I lost the term that I had for it in my head. But it's
special made up term.
Yeah, but you know how you're I think I know how people used to say speeches before we recorded them. It was much more about just getting the words across and speaking properly, saying the words, letting them speak for themselves, and purposely not adding emotional connotations to it. Declamatory, basically a more declamatory style.
Yeah.
So I just throw a little bit of that in there, and I'm like, yeah. Oh, that's the old prospector, right, Merle? Or I don't know. I haven't listened to enough Adventure Zone. I'm way back on
Adventure Zone. Is it good? Would you say?
It is. Yeah.
Seems good.
Yeah, I'd say so. Do you like radio adventures?
They're right.
It's basically like a very contemporary.
You think it's a thrilling adventure hour, Cubby.
Oh, am I?
I think Adventure Zone is a different thing.
Oh, I am. I don't know Adventure Zone at all.
Neither do I. Please clarify.
Okay. Thank you for picking up on that, Shoshi, because you're right.
I mean, both good.
But I have conflated them.
Yeah. Which makes sense. They're very similar names.
Yeah, Steve Martin definitely has a very clinical edge and that kind of I'm smarter than you.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. He probably is.
But it's also very subtle. He plays it very lightly.
Yeah.
Which is tough because it's just genuinely his voice.
So Adventure Zone is the podcast My Brother and Me?
No.
It's also, Sawbones, right?
No.
They're like the McElroy family. Like, anyway, they had a very popular podcast called My Brother and Me. And then they had like a spinoff, which was one of the characters and his wife, who's a doctor. And that's a really good podcast called Sawbones. And they talk about like medical misunderstandings. And then and then Adventure Zone is the Justin, Travis, and Griffin, who are the brother and me, and their dad doing a D&D campaign.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. So that's who that is. They're great podcasts. They're just like it's fun. It's a good fun time. But also, if the people don't know,
doesn't what's his name do something on Maximum Fun? Jesse, what's his name?
Jesse, what's his name?
He has like Friday night show on NPR.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, it'll come to me.
Okay.
The little old man that works in my memory went to go look for it. So within a week, we should have an answer.
Okay, cool. That sounds great.
Follow up the week. Got it.
The little file keeper janitor guy.
Oh yeah, he moves very slowly.
I understand. So right now I'm drawing. We need like a little sort of Oscar statue.
Ooh.
For one of the props, because like the show is happening in March. It'll be right after the Oscars. So you got to do an Oscar bit. You got to give the people what they want.
Bullseye with Jesse Thorne.
Oh, I don't know if we get that out here on our NPR.
Well, that's produced by Maximum Fun, which I just know because I've caught it occasionally, and I've heard Jesse Thorne say Maximum Fun.
Yeah. There's a couple like NPR things that like you don't get You Bet Your Garden out here.
You bet your what?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Because that's produced in Philly.
Yeah.
I don't know how big a distribution they have, but it should have a bigger distribution because that guy also like
I don't
listen to it that way. But when somebody calls in and they're like, "Hi, I'm calling from North Carolina."
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, okay, Kansas, okay, north, south, east, or west quadrant."
Yeah. You're like what?
He will ask them specifically exactly where they are in the country. And he'll say, like, all right, you're going to have a lot of success with semi-direct shade plants.
Yes. Okay, I get this. All right. So this is something that I am intrigued by now because this is something the site that I used to work on, that was exactly the kind of stuff that we did. People would talk to us and be like, hey, I want to grow native. What's native to my particular square foot?
And there's something, if you've never heard, like, I would honestly recommend anyone here, like, and you can listen to it on the internet. Like, you can get You Bet Your Garden anywhere. Like, if you search for it and go on the NPR website and listen to it.
Yeah, it'll be on the WHYY website.
And it, like, his voice and manner and attitude are like just so pleasurable to listen to. Like
they just add to an absolutely nerve-wracking hour of gardening radio, fresher than fresher than fragrant fennel.
Yeah. Do you like your tomatoes? I love tomatoes. We're going to be talking about leaves and bugs. Like, it's just like his voice is amazing. At like, I don't really, although I'm getting more into gardening now, but just like, so good. So good. Love that show. Highly recommend it.
And he loves terrible puns and like little loops of alliteration.
So good.
Little loops of alliteration.
That's a good impression.
I
That's a good obscure impression. Although it might kill in Philly.
Yeah. You bet your garden.
Yeah. That's really good. That's very.
I'm gonna
That's
have
very
to listen to an episode and get some fodder.
And if you are wondering what the host looks like, Mike McGrath is the guy's name.
Mike McGrath.
He looks exactly like you think he looks.
I've never seen what he looks like. I'm so happy to hear he looks like what I've been picturing.
I'll see if I can show you.
Oh wow, adorable.
Yeah.
He's adorable.
Yeah, he looks exactly like what you think he would look like.
Ooh.
I love him.
Yeah, I love him too. So good. What's eating my garden? Tomato sauce. 101. So good. And he gets so excited. Like people like, yeah. Anyway.
And seriously, there is no square foot of the country he won't be able to tell you what will and won't work.
I know.
Like
it's
he
incredible.
knows every sub-region. It's
really like he'll be
spectacular.
talking to someone from Virginia and he'll be like, okay, yeah, like what part of Virginia? Oh, okay, so you're on the side of this mountain. Now that's soil. Now what else is in your garden? Oh, you got that kind of tree? Okay, well when those leaves fall on that kind of soil, it's gonna make it like
he just knows it all.
you should. Or like honestly, he's got a million episodes about tomatoes. I bet there's already an episode like that covers all the tomato problems.
Yeah, Fog, I don't know if you've been to this area, but around here, if you garden, you've got tomatoes.
Yeah.
And if you've got tomatoes, it doesn't mean you garden. You might just have them on planters on your porch, because tomatoes are very important around here.
Fog, what coast are you on? I thought you were West Coast. Am I making that up or?
Well, tomatoes are, native to the United States, so they kind of grow well
Everywhere.
pretty well anywhere.
Oregon.
Except that they are incredibly exhausting to soil.
Oh,
They
yeah,
are-
'cause you gotta have the what is it? What's the Three Sisters? But the tomatoes aren't involved in that because tomatoes
Nope.
suck up too much in the nutrients.
Right. The Three Sisters are corn,
Beans,
beans,
corn, and squash.
squash. Squash provides the shade so weeds don't grow. The corn provides a trellis for the beans. And they just, yeah.
Yeah. But tomatoes you have to plant. It's got to be cyclical? Like you plant them and then you don't plant them and then you plant, right?
Yeah, they suck
Yeah,
up a lot of
something like that.
You have to rehabilitate the soil. That's why most people grow tomatoes in raised beds or pots, so that you can just not use the same soil. Because if you plant tomatoes in the ground, like 2 years in a row, nothing's going to grow on that land for a while.
Cool.
And Mab, you were right about the West Coast. Fog is in Oregon.
That's where you grow oregano, right?
I mean, that's the name of the town. It's oregano, the state. Oregano.
Oregon. One second. I just need to grab a drink of water. Because my mouth suddenly got very dry. I'll be right back. Ha!
Yeah. I'm sorry. I get my hipsters locally grown in Williamsburg.
Ah.
It's just less taxing to the environment to get my hipsters
Like
there.
New York, or do you mean Williamsburg, Virginia?
I meant Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Because it's a very different kind of hipster in Williamsburg, Virginia. They're like,
I know.
I'm sorry, are you not familiar with muskets? That's how we defend ourselves around here.
I do have a friend that does the living history in Williamsburg, Virginia.
I mean, that is way more rejecting of modernity.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can see this, but while cleaning my studio, which really desperately needed it, I found this thing.
Oh, that is so shiny, glittery.
Yeah, you buy winter seasonal ornaments when they're super duper on sale. And you make cool head things. Wow, this is great. I'm watching this play out.
Yeah, this is
Portland homeless. Damn.
I thought the whole thing with hipsters was that they weren't actually poor. They were like rich kids impersonating.
No, that's actually probably very correct.
You know how the hipster burned his lips, right?
How?
He drank his coffee before it was cool.
Oh,
Yes.
take that, young people. Except now they're like, now they're old now.
Are hipsters still a thing?
You know, I don't think anything goes away. Nothing ever goes away. We've still got yuppies somewhere.
Oh yeah, for sure.
God, why do we still have yuppies? Didn't we all agree that was a
bad phase?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like yuppies. They're fine.
The gentrifying white people.
They're making themselves miserable. You can only have yuppies when you have, like jobs.
Oh, maybe we don't have yuppies then.
No.
Yeah, that's about to.
Yeah.
Don't get me going on.
Oh yeah,
that.
NIMBYs are just annoying.
Oh my God, they are the worst.
Yeah.
But I want to address the whole Princess Leia oregano.
Oh yes.
Spices as. Okay, I read what I wanted to there.
I mean, I would say no, because what little we know of the species from a long, long time ago in a galaxy far away,
right?
And we know very little. It's a mistake to assume they're mammalian with such an incredibly high disparity between the reproductive genders.
Right.
There's like 6 women in the entire galaxy. That doesn't happen in a mammalian populace, but it does happen with insects.
Ah.
And notice how every female that exists in that galaxy far, far away has some kind of a hereditary title, queen or princess.
Just like bees or.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Think
and
about
she surrounded herself with drones, essentially.
Right, but here's the thing. Undeniably capable of motion, clearly a eukaryotic species. And you really cannot get more base a difference than prokaryotic and eukaryotic, and we know that oregano is prokaryotic.
I don't know. What do those mean? Words mean? I don't know what those words mean.
Whether they produce their own food or not. Or eat other living things to subsist.
Plants are what?
Prokaryotic.
They produce their own food.
Yeah, I think I got that right. But also this includes like the monocellular species as well. So it's a little bit even broader, because technically some funguses I think can produce their own nutrients. Most of them are like just eat up. But the thing about funguses is they're weird as hell.
Yeah, they're amazing.
I wouldn't be surprised if there is a fungus that walks around somewhere.
What have you heard?
I
No.
I don't know about all that, but I know one thing. They're gonna definitely be a real fun guy.
Hey,
Hey, my favorite joke in the world.
me
I-
too.
I got one even. I got a mushroomy shirt, a shirt with like a mushroom pattern on it. I'll wear it. I'll be like, yeah, I guess when I wear this shirt, you can say I'm a real man of morals.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's my,
And they don't
I'm a
see
moral.
it coming.
I'm a moral.
that's a good. I had some magician friends who their tip bag had some mushrooms on it, and they said, and we do that because hopefully at the end of the show there won't be much room in this tip bag. They said it funnier than
I'm
that.
not
That
laughing
was
at
pretty
the
good.
joke. I guess I'm laughing at the joke. I'm not laughing because the joke is funny.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe it.
So, Mab, apparently you got some kind of secret project.
Oh, that was a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, I did. So, and I actually am not quite comfortable going into the details of the secret project because it
It's secret?
definitely inspired some stuff. And I don't know if you guys know this, but tomorrow night I am running the Patreon Saints game right here on Nat 21 Adventures.
Hey.
Oh, heck yeah.
What? Yes, I'm running the game, and there may or may not be some special props from just some guy.
Hey.
Beer, 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 beer.
Amazing.
So, perhaps Princess Organo pollinates the oregano in Oregon.
Wow.
Hey!
Wow.
Hey!
Pretty happy with that.
I love it.
That looks pretty good.
It's like,
Ooh.
I love how it's just the right amount of too big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a little too big.
It's just a little too big.
Yeah. And I like how it's like just the suggestion of it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
But that's the thing about the Oscars. It's so iconic. You know what it is.
Right.
Right.
yeah, unlike those Grammys.
Yeah. Ugh.
What do they look like again?
Oh, the Grammys ones are cool. It's like a phonograph.
Like a gramophone.
Yeah. Right. That makes sense.
It's like a gramophonograph.
A gramophonograph. A gramophone.
Gramophonograph.
Yeah. We could bring back gramophones.
I mean, we could. It'll be useful to have a way to play music without electricity.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
You know, once we
Yeah.
no longer have power grids.
Yeah. I mean, you could play instruments too, but
We conquered that. We conquered talent.
We conquered talent. Ah.
We're
Here
gonna
in
go
America, we've conquered many things. Talent, medicine, health.
Love. Love is no longer a concern in our lives. We have defeated it.
That's right. We've defeated it.
Love is opiate for the masses. I don't know. Oh my. Yeah. Well, bitches, just gotta verify. Well,
There we go. Good. Yeah. I'm
All
pretty
right.
happy with that. I might add a little more shading, but I'm pretty happy with that.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like less is more with an Oscar.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a little, I want to add a little like,
Ooh.
more orange or brown just to make it a little more gold looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a good call.
But other than that, I think it's pretty done.
So we were talking about love, so I grabbed Trivial Pursuit Book Lovers edition.
Hey, good idea.
And the first question is a Harry Potter one, I'm afraid.
Oh, well, let's skip that one.
What Harry Potter confection comes with a wizard card in every package?
Chocolate frogs. Sorry, I'm embarrassed that I know that.
No, that's fine. I mean, honestly, the one thing J.K. Rowling did really well was little details like that. Because goodness knows the overall product wasn't so great.
Yeah. And if she had been a good person, we would have forgiven a lot of those little mistakes.
You know what? I think I would still have a big irritation with the series, even if she hadn't been a big. I'm very tired just of hearing about it, just because it's not that interesting. Like, it
did its job at the time.
It was fine. It was fun. I have no complaint. There's nothing wrong with enjoying it on its own things, but it's not. If it's your favorite book series, you should read a second book series.
You should just read just read something else. Read one more thing.
It was just okay.
Yeah.
I mean, like, and the worst part is I can't even get into insulting it because Ursula K. Le Guin summed it up perfectly. You guys know her quote on Harry Potter?
Please tell us.
Oh my! I have to look it up because I don't have it all.
You want to get it correct.
Yeah. But you'll hear this and it'll be like, you hear it and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
That, like, you instantly recognize the truth of it and you're like, oh, that was worse than I thought it was. Like, it's one of those perfect criticism that you just hear it. And it was sorry, page loading.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Jervis Teach. I mean, read a third book.
Yeah, that looks better. It just needed a little more goldy.
I like what you did with the little yellow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it just needed a little more goldy in there.
Oh wow. Dang. Thank you, Jesse.
Oh,
Okay.
there we go.
Well, this is just some guy. My two things from the Harry Potter series. I think it was engineered to prey on kids with the whole "I'm more special, important than you know." Check. And I would have killed Harry off at the end because that actually fit with the prophecy. I agree. Harry should have died at the end. But we are still talking about it.
Oh yeah. Well, I think the question was chocolate of some kind.
I found the quote.
Yay!
I have no great opinion of it. When so many adult critics were carrying on about the incredible originality of the first Harry Potter book, I read it to find out what all the fuss was about, and remained somewhat puzzled. It seemed a lively kid's fantasy crossed with a school novel, good fare for its age group, but stylistically ordinary, imaginarily derivative, and ethically rather mean-spirited.
Ouch.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
if like one of the royalties of science fiction has that and fantasy has that to say about your book, you just freaking go to bed. You just shut it down.
Yeah, but like, and also like, I know there's a big thing. There's a lot of like, once you know the predilections of the author, if you look back at it, the fat phobia, the ableism.
Oh yeah.
But it's also amazingly what a boring world of magic that is. Everyone works for the government and hides. It's terrible. Oh, but I guess I could go on to the second trivia question.
There you go.
And like, yeah, thanks for the backup yesterday night. Sorry, I just saw the Jervis Tetch thing. You know, technically, Alice's Adventures in the Rabbit Hole, while not published independently in Dodgson's lifetime, would probably be the third one. But I hope for his sake he never read Sylvie and Bruno, because that thing was bad. Have you ever heard of Sylvie and Bruno, Mab?
Yep.
It's Lewis Carroll's follow-up to the Alice novels.
I've never even heard of it, but
it's not good. Because nobody talks about it. Because he
only read 2 books.
I mean, to be fair, he did write more than just 2. Unfortunately. It's a fairy world interaction instead of an actual Wonderland, and Bruno and Sylvie, they're a brother and sister pair, and Bruno talks like this the whole time.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What novel by Aldous Huxley shipwrecks reporter Will Farnaby in the faraway utopia of Paula?
Paula?
Huh. Good question.
Look, I can only name one Aldous Huxley novel.
Yeah.
And it gets its title because of a famous shipwreck.
Huh. Edmund Fitzgerald?
The Wreck of the Hesperus?
Yes, both of them.
Titanic? The Lusitania?
I just had the best idea the other day.
Yeah.
Okay. Lusitania.
Okay.
Boarding, people going on, tons of fanfare. In walks Billy Zane with his young fiancée. That's right, Lusitania movie that is a sequel to Titanic. And the only thing connecting them is the same jerk. And it's the exact same movie, beat for beat.
That's with just a slightly different cast.
Just instead of an iceberg, it's the Germans.
That's really funny. There we go. That's what I needed.
Oh, dang, that looks good.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that now.
Yep.
But I'm gonna say Brave New World because that was inspired by Tempest.
Yeah, Brave New World. I mean, that's the only one I know of his. So
yeah, and it's just like the title of it does reference a play with a very, very famously starts with a shipwreck.
Yeah, so that must be right. As long as there are no further questions, yes.
Yeah, because we can't have Kate and Leo play they can't play the same roles. Leo's dead, Kate's off in America, married to some other dude by now. Yeah, I say give them cameos.
Yeah, like he can be reading an article. Because didn't she become like an actress or something?
You can have a little thing, but also just have Kate Winslet like randomly as a person on board, like just a different person.
Yeah, or like he's reading a newspaper on the deck of the ship, and like one of the articles is like new actress stuns in play.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, we should let's have fun with this ship tragedy sequel movie.
Yeah.
What best-selling high-tech author described his fascination with spoon bending and other psychic phenomena in Travels?
Whoa. Wait, I might need to hear that question again.
What best-selling high-tech author described his fascination with spoon bending and other psychic phenomena in Travels?
So we just really I can condense this question into who's the author of Travels? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Yeah, the book in question. I'm just gonna say Michael Crichton, because
yeah, I mean
he's the only
what other tech author do we know?
Like ones that write about real tech, I guess, but I don't know any of those.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say that's a good guess. I'll go with that.
See, I love the suggestion, but here's the thing. Billy Zane gets through this movie unscathed again. He doesn't even get wet.
Yeah. He gets away as well.
The moral is that the worst people do the best, and we have to. Our hands are tied on that one.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want every part of it to just be about Titanic, but we also kind of do. So the question is, how do we approach the door scene?
Yeah.
That is Crichton in a nutshell.
How old do you think Billy Zane is? His character is when he's on the Titanic? Like
there's no way to know without doing math, and we are not going to stoop to that in this show.
Fair.
So whatever age Billy Zane is now, I guess.
Yeah.
Do we know how old Billy Zane's character was in the original Titanic?
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so then... Okay. 1 second.
Okay.
Are you doing math? We talked about that.
Okay. So then Billy Zane, 108 years old.
I have no problem with this. Look at how Billy Zane is currently aging.
Yeah.
All right, so here's another thing. Here's another twist. Billy Zane is a harbinger and thus immortal, but he's always at these disasters.
We can do a whole series of Billy Zane as a horrible person who survives a tragic ship.
That's what I'm saying. So like the last one is Billy Zane, 108 years old, is having his 108th birthday party in the World Trade Center on September 11th, 2001. He steps out to go get some coffee across the street.
He steals a kid again, though. He doesn't even need to. He already got out. He just grabs a kid, and he's like, I need to get away. I have a child.
Yeah. And that's the last one. Thank you.
But here's the question.
Oh yeah. No, he could though. He could like just be like one of the people that's supposed to be on it. Because that's in the 80s.
I was gonna say Seagate, but somehow he survives it.
Oh.
Just an old man who's like, we're gonna go down to the Titanic, and we have an actual Titanic survivor with us.
And then at the last minute, he's like, "Oh, I can't go."
And like he hits the button, which means he escapes safely, which kills everyone.
Which kills everyone else.
Yeah. And he brought a child on board. They're like, where did that kid come from?
Isn't one of the billionaires bring their kid with them?
Don't ask any questions.
Can we just make a series of movies about an immortal Billy Zane stealing children for personal gain?
To keep surviving. As long as he doesn't die, he won't die.
Makes sense.
Billy Zane doesn't die.
Yeah.
Well, death isn't going to stop anyone from acting in movies soon. What novelist contrasts the marriages of two Bangladeshi sisters in her debut novel, Brick Lane?
I have to hear that one again.
What novelist contrasts the marriages of two Bangladeshi sisters in her debut novel, Brick Lane?
Why does that sound
Laid
weird?
Or Lane?
Lane. Brick
Oh.
Lane. Like a street.
Okay.
All right. So it's probably someone who wrote a more famous book later.
Or it's like a contemporary novelist who we would recognize if we were reading current fiction.
Right. And this is like an older.
But we're too bougie. It has to be like really established and, on the ivory tower kind of book before we read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be it. You're right. It's got to be both. It's got to be Challenger. It's got to be every disaster.
Yeah.
He loses a fiance. He steals a child.
Same plot, just happens to be him.
Just always the same plot from his perspective. Everything else can change.
Right. But for his needs, yeah.
And he's like, are you freaking kidding me again? Or how wise is he to it?
Well, I think also at some point he'll be like, well, I know what to do in this situation. I'm going to keep doing what saved me every time. Grab a child and run away.
So here's another thought too, is they could set it so that people start to kind of pick up that this guy is who, the Harbinger.
Yeah.
And then the movie is about not letting him get on the plane or the bus or the boat or.
Right, because they're like, if this guy is here, a disaster is going to happen.
And if I could pitch the exact opposite, in an unrelated movie that takes place on a boat, he is a background character, and he's very nervous, and he's constantly looking around because he keeps expecting the ship to start sinking and grabbing children. Like he's always ready to grab a child. You just see Billy Zane in the background.
He grabs a kid.
Keeping track of where the kids are and what the emergency level is currently.
Yeah.
Actually, I think we should do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should make all of these movies.
Yeah.
I think Billy Zane's career is pretty secure now.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Billy Zane.
I mean, dude, does he have us to thank, or does he have his incredible turn in Demon Knight to thank for that? Because honestly, he made that movie.
Yeah, he was really good at that.
Billy Zane's freaking great. And I kind of, well, he's great when he doesn't care about the movie or as a bad guy. Like, he's a fun actor, but he's very pretty. So they always wanted to cast him as a lead, but he's not a lead. He's a weirdo. Yeah. He's a fun weirdo.
Yeah. He's too pretty for this world.
Yeah, it's basically if Brad Pitt was a decent person, career-wise. Like, I don't know if Billy Zane's a decent person. I just know Brad Pitt isn't. but also had that thing where he's a better character actor than lead.
Yeah.
Who helped Zora Neale Hurston turn her short story Mule Boy into a play before a riff caused it to go unpublished for 60 years?
Whoa.
What?
Huh. 60 years. It's got to be some like famous, like Arthur Miller.
Yes, except I don't see Arthur Miller
Helping anyone?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I'm thinking. I'm like, it caused a rift.
Well, I'm also thinking like contemporary to Zora Neale Hurston, somebody who would probably be a prominent intellectual, somebody like I'm just gonna play the numbers and say James Baldwin.
Huh. Maybe.
Ooh, Langston Hughes is also very good.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm a little hazy on when exactly Zora Neale Hurston was alive, but that sounds like a good answer. And yes, weird author stuff, aka Book Lovers Edition. Sorry, I forgot you weren't here when we started the card.
Doop doop.
Well, we have good guesses.
Oh, snap. I'm so glad it's Yesterday's Night is here for this last one.
Oh, yeah?
Well, let me just say, what William Goldman book?
Uh-huh.
What William Goldman book included the first chapter of its unpublished sequel, Buttercup's Baby, in its 25th anniversary edition?
I mean, we all know the answer to this one.
Do we? Because I have no idea.
You know.
Well, it's the wrong author, really. I mean, I prefer to credit the actual writer.
That's true. Not just the paraphraser.
Yeah, what is it? Montebon. It's not Montebon.
Yes. Victoria London Fog. That is Morgenstern.
Morgenstern.
That's right. Yeah. A contemporary of the author of La Bandeau L'Oil. Another famous play.
I don't even know what that reference. That name is funny.
Is it Antoine Begonia? I think is the author of that one. La Bandeau sur l'Oil. Yes. It translates to the eye patch. That's right. Timino. That's right.
You know what? We did pretty good on this card.
Yeah?
Chocolate Frogs.
Okay.
Island is the name of a book that Aldous Huxley wrote that is not Brave New World.
Island?
Island.
All right.
Yeah. Although he seems to have a shipwreck fascination. Michael Crichton.
Okay.
Monica Ali.
Okay.
Wrote Brick Lane. Langston Hughes.
There you go.
It was Langston Hughes. Nice.
It was Langston Hughes. Great job, Fogg. And The Princess Bride.
Hey.
Oh.
We did it. Good for us. We did so good. We did so good. We did so good. Good, good, good. That's it. That's all
That's the whole song.
That's the whole song.
Oh.
Island is a Utopias manifesto and novel. It's his final work before his death. It has a plot, but it's really more about like conceptual explorations rather than a typical narrative. I'm reading about it.
Which also makes sense, like knowing what little I do about the utopianist fiction movement, is that it's usually more about ideas. Well, very famously, what's the play cycle? the Shores of Utopia or something. It's like a 7-hour unproducible play that was written, but it's in the utopianist vein.
Oh yeah, it's about a guy.
Play.
It's about a guy who crash lands on an island, like a forbidden island.
Well, all right, I'll begrudgingly admit the title makes sense.
Yeah, they have a utopian society.
On the island?
Mm-hmm.
What makes it so dang a utopian?
If that were an easy question to answer,
yeah,
Mab, you wouldn't have to read the book to find out.
They always the citizens strive to live always in the moment.
Huh.
Oh,
they have a lot of sex.
Okay.
All right. It's a better hook than they're all horse people.
And take drugs.
All right.
Well, this is the kind of utopian I can get into. Maybe I got
I've heard worse utopias, believe me.
Sounds great.
You know, this paradise is starting to sound pretty all right.
Sounds pretty good.
But is it one of those crappy utopias or an actually good utopia?
I mean, they always end up to be crappy utopias, though. Isn't that like the whole thing?
Well, that's like the anti-utopia propaganda. That's so that we're content being dissatisfied.
Because we're like, it could be.
We would hate it. Yeah.
If you try and do things right, it's only going to end up bad. So you better be happy where you are.
Look, you all are sounding like I just heard this story about someone who put desire in their Instacart, and the Instacart shipper put suffering in their cart, and so they rush over because they were like, I'm gonna yell at this guy, and the cart was full of desire, and they're like, what's going on? And the Instacart shopper's all like, suffering and desire are the same thing, dude.
Whoa, goosebumps. Yeah, where's the tortured child?
It's not a utopia unless you get to torture a kid.
If society and if the world has taught me anything, you can't have happiness unless children are being tortured. Oh no, I can't even say that jokingly. Oh no.
Although I do have to say, Fogg sent me a story, which is the title of the story is "What if we just kill the kid in Oldamos?" And it's pretty great because, you know, not to spoil the beginning or anything, but that's what it starts with. Somebody's like, yeah, we're just going to kill the kid. And then there's a big to-do, and it's not magically protected, and they're suffering again. And they're like, oh no, we got to find another kid. And so it's like, it's basically like an arms race between the group of people who are like, look, we're just going to kill the kid. This whole system needs to stop. And the people who are just like, one kid suffering is a good deal.
I mean, it is a good deal.
It's a good deal, but it is unacceptable. But well, that's the whole thing. It's a return for investment, but it's a
return for investment.
It's a return for investment because nobody else suffers.
No,
but it is unconscionable.
Maybe the whole concept of return for investment is wrong.
Yes,
it is.
I would agree with that. It is wrong.
It is.
Maybe it's wrong. Okay, well, on that note, we're at time. You gotta go.
I want to talk more about killing kids.
You gotta go. This has been amazing. Great crafting. We made some crafts. I started another one for a different scene level. I'm pretty happy with that, Oscar. We did some impressions. Wait, I feel like it's very important we see this one more time before we go.
Whoa! Whoa!
That was incredible.
We saw some amazing sticker propaganda, but like
Oh, yeah.
in a good
Real
way.
quick, I'm gonna promote this one more time, okay?
Yeah.
Sticker it to the man.
Sticker it to the man.art.
Sticker it to the
Yeah,
man.
can you type it because I'm a little far away from my computer.
Mamma mia.
Sticker
Here I go again.
it to
How could I resist you?
man.art. Okay, sticker it to the man.art, and coupon code is hashtag.
Sticker it to the man.
Sticker
We
it
didn't-
to the
We
man.
didn't talk about my Michael McDonald, but I like obviously everyone's working on their Michael McDonald. Sticker it to the man.
We do need a theme song.
Sticker it to the man. It got for so back in this long ago.
Somebody clip that. Okay, everybody, it's time to go. You've all been amazing. I'm just saying some words so that it gives me time to get the thing that I need to click until we get to the end.